Oh, Lord. Welcome in. Welcome in, guys. We're just getting rolling. We're just getting fired up. You have not missed anything. Do not worry. We're just getting started. We're just logging on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You have not missed anything. You have not missed a single thing. We're just rolling up in here, seeing what we can do. Welcome in, welcome in. Seeing what we can do today. Welcome in, guys. If you're in here, please tap that screen. Please share the live. Let's see if we can't get out on FYP and let people know that we're doing some stuff over here. Welcome in, welcome in. How's everybody doing today? We having a good hump day? Having a good Wednesday? Welcome in, welcome in. Please smash that screen. Please share the live. It does help us. We are so close to 2,000 followers. Whoop, whoop. We're doing big things today. I'm just anticipating we're going to hit 2,000 by the time this live's over. We only need one more person, so I'm keeping with the give back. I don't know why, I just want to. So prices are cut today. Prices are cut again today. If you are a subscriber, it is $10.10 for a read. And if you are not a subscriber, it's $12.12. So it's a price cut for everybody. It's just a little baby give back. I just want to celebrate 2K because I know it's coming. I can feel it down in my bones. I can feel it. Thank you so much for being here. Please continue to tap that screen, share the live. It does help us. We're trying to kind of push through. Welcome in, welcome in. Hey, Aunt Sherry. We're trying to push through. We're trying to get out on FYP, and it just helps us let people know that we're live because they don't always get the notifications, you know? Oh, that sucks, doesn't it? Welcome in, guys. How's everybody doing? Is everyone having a good Wednesday? Are we having fun at least? Thank you for the share. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope everyone's having a good Wednesday. It is like bridging into some beautiful weather here. I'm super excited. It's not freezing anymore. Thank you for the share. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please continue to tap that screen. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. We're seeing if we can't get just a few more people in here. We're going to toss collective. And the list is open today. We are doing 10-10 for my subscribers. And we are doing 12-12 for my non-subscribers. So we're just cutting prices. We're almost at 2K. And I just want to give back. I just want to have some fun. Welcome in, welcome in. So if you would like something felt into, if you would like to just cut through it all and you just want to know something, or maybe you don't know what you need and you just want a general, we're going to do both of those today. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Short days, long nights. Welcome in, welcome in. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're having good. I hope this is a good Wednesday. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. I just feel the need to be like, Mike. It is Wednesday. Alright, see if we can't get a few more people in here. Help me smash that screen, guys. And we are going to get rolling on collective. Welcome in, welcome in. If you guys don't know, we did just release the Intro to Candle Magic course. It's entirely self-study. You get a video of the entire class. It's just pre-recorded, the same thing we would do if we were in person, along with 13 pages of notes for quick reference. And it goes through everything you'll need to know for a beginner in candle magic, including candle color, candle frequency, uses, setup, tear down, dressing, anointing, all the whole thing, salt circling, everything. And then at the end, you get a protection candle recipe, you get an herb blend, you get the breakdown of what all the herbs that we used in the blend, you get to watch and do it along with us. It's going to be good, it's posted, so if you're into candle magic or you think you might just want to get into it, it's on the website. It's on the website, check it out, have some fun. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in, Leo. What's up? Well, if you want a love and relationship reading, we're doing price cuts today, April. So it's only $12.12. If you would like me to do a love relationship, I can do it. That is no problem, girl. I can do it. Welcome in, welcome in. Alright, let's see. I think we're just going to start with collective. While I'm tossing collective, please go ahead and continue to just absolutely demolish that screen. It really does help us keep out on for you. If you have a collective question, go ahead and drop it down in the comment section. And I'll see if I can answer it. Keep in mind, a collective question does not require me to feel into your energy in specific. It's just a general question about a topic or a stance. Now the list is open. We have Cash App and we have Venmo. We are doing 10-10 for my subscribers today. We're cutting prices. We're celebrating 2,000 followers. And we are doing 12-12 for my non-subscribers. Just make sure you come back in and you let us know that you donated. I don't want to miss anybody. Sometimes those apps are a little slow. Alright. I feel the need to say someone's bridging into their sunshine season. So I don't know who in the collective is bridging into your sunshine season. That is a tongue twister. Sunshine season. But this is it. And they're talking about how you have cultivated this and it's not been easy. Somebody out here has chosen the tortoise path, and I'm going to be 1,000% honest. The tortoise path is the path of longevity, but it is the slowest path. It is the one that doesn't come in hot like fire, but it comes in nice and slow, but it pays out in the long run. So that means you have to continuously keep putting into it over and over and over and over again on the hopes and the knowing that it's coming, and you might not see it right away. Not everybody's built for that path. I'm going to be honest. Not everybody can do it. And as I'm talking about you putting in all this work, literally we have the Seven of Pentacles out here talking about cultivating your abundance from all the hard work that you've put in, talking about things starting to pay off for you. Your manifestation or your goal is coming to a head. I'm going to be real honest, you're starting to bridge out of that notion that you were stuck or trapped. So maybe you were somebody who felt like life happened to you, and I feel like this has been an overall collective message this week. You feel like life has been happening to you. Well, it's not. That's your own limiting beliefs happening to you. That's you not embracing the magic and the power that you are. And that's okay. You didn't see it, but now you do. Now that things are starting to knock on your door, now that things are starting to come your way and work your way, you're starting to realize just how much you are in control, and you're not at the mercy of anything anymore. You just are. This is you building your foundations. I'm going to be real honest. You had to go backwards to go forward. I have a 5 to 4 shift here. You had to go backwards to go forward, and you got some choices to make. Somebody out here is sitting there looking over all that they've had to do now, and they're starting to redefine themselves. And I'm getting this really to be a new perspective, a new way of you not only looking at yourself and what you bring to the table, but looking at everything around you. Somebody in here is starting to seriously question some of the old choices they've made, and they want to change some things. I feel the need to tell you to follow your intuition here, to follow where you're being pulled to. I feel like this really has to do, I'm going to talk, I feel like it's soul family. I'm going to be real honest. I have the family card out here, but it doesn't give me the vibe of being blood family, although it is a collective, so take it as it resonates. But it doesn't give me the vibes as like a blood-related family. It does give me like a soul family, like when your friends become family, when your spiritual family gets involved. And I feel like the energy card just popped out for confirmation. This is how energy is connected. This is not how you are blood-related to somebody. And they are talking about how, ooh, you got to trust your shit. You got to trust your shit, and you got to trust yourself. I'm going to be real honest. Somebody is pulling on you. And I feel like you're starting to see it now. You're starting to feel it. There's a little bit of this tricky energy going on here, where being around you best serves them, so they're around you, and they're not, I'm going to be honest, they're not the person you're going to celebrate your wins with. But they are the person that's going to take credit for your work. And I don't know who needs to hear this. That's not your people. That's not, but that is a lesson and a blessing in disguise. So you do what you need to do, and you move accordingly. You move accordingly. Allow it to show you what it needs to show you, and then once you see it, now that the awareness is there, what are you going to do with it? That's your decision. I'm going to be real honest, or circling back to your 2. That is your decision. As we're talking about, it's a blessing that we have the Guardian card out here. You are being led this way along with the shifting and transformation card. You are breaking free. You are breaking free of what you got going on. This is you starting to emanate in all of your, I'm going to be honest, it sounds a little corny, but all of your light. All of your light. It's I want to say you have like brand new eyes. Like, it's giving me like brand new eyes vibes, to where you're kind of seeing this shit for the first time, but you're seeing it as well as being connected with your higher consciousness. So I feel as though you're actually seeing the full picture now. Not just the too up close. I feel like before you were a little too close, and that bringing me back to that family vibe. You were a little too close and you didn't quite see it, but you see it now. They're talking about how you're balancing your feminine inside of you, but I'm getting more your emotional and your intuitive feminine with your patience and grounded, slow-moving tortoise energy that is your masculine. And they're talking about the merger of these two is becoming a tower moment for you, but it's not a bad tower that you need to run and hide from, but it is a tower because it is shaking up your foundations, because you're reaching levels and limits you didn't think was possible before. This is bridging together your emotional fulfillment. This is your hard work paying off. And now we just talked about how you had to go back to go forward from 5 to 4. And now they're pulling you back forward again from 3 to 4. All your hard work and your collaboration and your craft of your 3 and of your culmination and your collectiveness, all of that energy you put into what you were doing has now propelled you forward into your 4. We're back to solid foundations. They moved you back, way back, in order to be shot forward. That's how spirit works. You take a step back to take one forward. This is you starting to bring shit together. So if you feel like the pieces are starting to fall together for you and they're not at all like what you expected, you're right. They're not. So drop your expectation. Don't be limited by them. You are a limitless being, and that's what you need to embody right now. Nobody. I feel like someone's just being goofy. I feel like they need to yell, "No one put baby in a corner." Like, it's this kind of energy that it's all on you. I feel like it's all on you, dog. It's all on you, B. Like, you got this. Yeah, I feel like almost the need to tell you that you were built for this. I'm gonna be real honest. I feel the need to tell you, and if I could grip these cards right now, this is what we'd be doing. I feel the need to tell you, like, you were completely built for this. What is going on? This deck is, like, not shuffling nicely. Woo! Might need to cleanse this one. Welcome in, welcome in. Might need to do it again. Oh, goodness. I just feel like you're somebody who had to lose yourself to find yourself. I feel like this is the part of the collective that they're talking about here. You had to go in and you had to go out to find yourself. And I mean that in the way that you had to go into yourself and then you had to move away. You had to separate in order to come back together. And that's a hard concept, but you separate into one to come back together as one, and that's what they're talking about. They're talking about your journey. You're now starting to realize just what you bring to the table. You're now starting to realize what your light not only does for you, but does for others around you. And they're just talking about you being the, like, witness of your life. I don't know how to make it make sense. It's like you're now just seeing it all for the first time. I almost want to call it virgin eyes, is because you're actually starting to see with your eye and not your physical eyes. And they're just talking about you and your higher self are now starting to communicate, and this is your rekindling. This is you fully embracing and stepping into that feminine, which is your intuition, and guys, We need to slow down if I can't talk. That's not very helpful. And they just start talking about how somebody out here is doing all that they possibly can. All that they possibly can muster up to initiate this change. And I'm going to be honest, it's already here. You are breaking free of what used to limit you and put you in a box. Like, you're already doing it. This is directly where you need to be right now. So, somebody in here is stuck or frustrated on what should I be doing? What should this? Am I on my divine this? And they're stuck on the idea that they could be anywhere else besides where they should be. I need you to throw that away. I need you to put it aside because it's just not possible. Even if you take a different route down your path still leads to the same place. It's just depending on how fast you walk it and how dedicated you are to continuing to keep going. And I feel like that's really important because I feel like somebody in here has just really heavy energy and they're really just sitting here going, oh my God, I don't know, but just tell me, is it it? I'm going to be real honest. Nobody needs to tell you it's it, but that's what you're looking for. You need to be the one to tell yourself it's it. How does it feel to you? You need to listen. And this just keeps going back and back and back and back and back to what they were talking about. Somebody really needs to listen to themselves here. If you talk too much, you're not paying attention. God, the message to shut up has been huge this week. It's been huge for the collective. And it's not a mean, shut up. It's like a tune in. Be quiet and tune in kind of a thing. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. We're just getting started here. We're just getting rolling. Thank you so much for all the follows. Thank you so much for all the love. The list is open today. We are doing Cash App and Venmo, and we're celebrating 2K followers, and we are doing price cuts. Still, I want to extend it. I'm excited and I want to celebrate. So we're extending it. We are doing 10-10 for subscribers today, and we are doing 12-12 for non-subscribers. So if you would like a reading, if you just want to know what's going on, you just want to cut through all the bullshit, we got Cash App, we got Venmo. I'm just wondering if Miss Alaska is in here. If you're in here, please let me know. Welcome in, Jamie. How's it going? I hope you're doing great. I hope you're doing great. How's everybody doing today? Thank you for continuing to tap that screen. It helps us more than I could even begin to say. It keeps us out on FYP, and it just helps people know that we're live. A lot of people don't get the notifications, so it really just helps new people find us, and we just keep growing, and we just want to keep on doing all the things. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. We just opened the list. We have Cash App, we have Venmo. We are doing 10-10 for my subscribers as another give back, and we are doing 11. We're doing 12-12 for my non-subscribers. So if you guys would like a read today, go ahead and donate, but just come back in and let us know how you donated. I just don't want to miss you guys. Sometimes those apps are slow to reload and update. So I'd rather check them and make sure, I'd rather check them and make sure. Whew. I hope everyone's having a good hump day. 6.6K likes. Thank you so much. Thank you. 6K is amazing. 6K is amazing. Let's see. Miss Thomasina, are you here? Are you back in the room? I got you. I just popped through. Are you back in the room, miss? Oh, I bet you, obviously you're back in the room. Are you? you just responded. Are you back in the room? You've been here before, and you've known how this goes. Would you like me to feel into something in particular for you? Or would you just like a general and just, or do you want to steer the ship a little bit? Welcome in, guys. Thank you so much for tapping that screen. Thank you for helping us get to 2K. The list is open. So if you want to get on it, go ahead and donate, and then just come back in, let us know how you donated, and that's how this works today. It's 10:10 for my subscribers, and it is 12:12 for my non-subscribers. So it's up to you how you would like to do it. If you have a specific question, go ahead and drop it down in the general, but with the abilities. Okay. Alright. Okay. I would go see a doctor, Ashley, if you want to know if you're pregnant. There are several pregnancy tests you can take at home. While I can feel into uterine energies, I'm not a doctor, and because this is a business, I cannot give you medical advice. I don't like pregnancy questions, so I won't be able to feel into that for you, but I do appreciate you asking. But I strongly encourage you that if you're really worried or something about your pregnancy, or if you are, I would just seek medical attention. You know what I mean? It's not worth risking health over, you know what I mean? So, just safe than sorry. Miss Thomasina. I'm gonna be real honest. I don't know how your dreams have been lately, but one of my main guides on my team just said you're a dream walker, and that's what he uses in his context. It's slightly different from the actual definition of a dream walker, so just like don't freak yourself out and go Google it. That's just our lingo. Him and me, but it makes me feel like you're a heavy astraler, whether you realize it or not. And I'm going to be really honest, before we even get into cards, it might not seem like an ability, but it actually is. Not a lot of people, have the ability to freely travel, and then to learn while they're traveling and have cognitive memory of it. I do feel like that's beginning to open up for you, and I feel like it is in heavy relation with oh yeah, it is, and I'm gonna be 100% honest. You're blipping back really fast because it's still slightly uncomfortable for you. I'm gonna be honest. Once we start to reach outside of our comfort zone, and I'm getting goosebumps, my back is getting cold now. Once we start reaching out of our comfort zone from one traveler to another, what happens is sometimes we get kind of like, and we get startled, and we like wake ourselves up, and that's what, like, I use the term like we get like dropped or like tossed back in our bodies, but really it's just our awareness being all of a sudden flicked on like a light. But the cool thing is that when you do this, you can go to places that a lot of other people can't. And I don't mean they physically will never be able to. It's just that when you have an innate ability like that, you're already a little bit ahead of people. And it just comes more naturally to you. You don't have to try. You actually have to figure out how to control it and allow it and all these other things. So you almost have to figure out how it works for you. And this is actually what's kind of going on as of the most recent with you. I'm going to be 100% honest. Like, this is the most recent thing that you are delving into because it's trying to unlock some information for your conscious and subconscious brains about you. So you are, some people call them downloads. I call them secrets because it's not in your conscious awareness. This is you in your growth period for spirituality. I'm going to be real honest. You're starting to trigger your remembrance, and this includes your past lives, but it actually includes more of what your soul has done. This is you starting to put together and bridging in your sacred energies and how you relate not only to yourself and your vessel, but also other lifetimes. This is starting to like put back into This is starting to put a lot of things together for you. But because this is an awakening of a sorts, and this is a remembrance, it's going to be weighing heavy on your crown. I'm going to be real honest. It's going to be weighing heavy on your crown. And it's going to feel sometimes as pressure. It's going to feel as a thump. And I know my ear just went deaf tone. So you got somebody popping in here. And as I'm talking about, it's gonna be a remembrance. The memory card just pops out, and they're just talking about, and right on top of the secrets is where I placed it too. So there's your double confirmation, and they're just talking about how this is actually going to start bridging into, bridging back into your connection, because you can't. I'm gonna be real honest. You can't go to these places and learn these things and talk to these beings in your sleep and then have zero ripple effect in the 3D, in the physical, in the, in the dense energies. It's going to eventually ripple down here, but what you're actually doing right now, 12:12 on the clock, what you're actually doing right now is your light body's beginning to elevate in frequency as you start plugging in the pieces and you start picking away at who you are, and your remembrance starts to flood in. And I really feel like this is going to be you seeing yourself in a different light, because they are pulling me back to the fact that you haven't always maybe viewed yourself in the best of a light. How you've kind of been a little bit hard on yourself, and they're just talking about like everything you've gone through, and they're being extremely serious. Everything that you have gone through, I'm going to call them an uphill climb, your battle, your struggle is a purpose. They're talking about how it's there to enhance your already present, transmutation, your already present energy. You're already present within your past lifetimes type of energy. It's there to be a catalyst, and it's there to be almost like a conduit that pulls forward these things for you, which is very interesting. I'm gonna be honest, that's probably the first time they've ever said that on a live read here. I'm gonna be really honest. But they're just talking about it's not gonna happen all at once. And I do feel like for you, physically, we're going to have to start working in kind of like receiver's patience, to where you don't worry about when it's coming or how fast it's coming, because you already know it's going to come. It's like that knowing. But I also feel like there's a little bit of struggle with the day-to-day. So I don't know if you've been having vertigo, where you feel a little bit off balance, especially when you first wake up. That is out-of-body astraling symptoms, along with pressure headaches. And you can sometimes get nasal congestion because it is all connected. Eyes, ears, nose, you know what I mean, is all connected. So sometimes that can look as like allergies, like it can look and feel like a head cold almost. But they're just talking about specifically for you all of this, like the entire crown, and I'm getting like bridging around the sides, which is really interesting because they're showing me like this, and then somebody goes like this, and it's like bridging around to the front, is what's starting to be, I'm going to say woken up or turned on, or this is like the next area that they're working for you. And that's also going to, for you specifically, you're going to start using your creativity in a different way. And by your creativity, I mean your mental abilities. And I'm not, right now, they're not talking about telepathy. They're not talking about like that type of mental. They're not talking about like telekinesis or anything like that. Although I do feel like there's some weird link to light bulbs with you. I feel like do light bulbs flicker when you're around? There's just some weird thing with light bulbs, but we'll get past that. But they're actually talking about your creativity as in your vision space. Some people call it their seer ability. But it's part of your clear vision. You're going to start seeing things in a different way. So I don't know if you're somebody who kind of could see things, and I don't mean the physical eyes, although I wouldn't be surprised if that was something that you've experienced, especially out of the corner of your eyes. But because you're still new to the seer space. So a lot of times it's corner of the eye shadow movement. But I'm going to be real honest. I feel like it's going to start bridging into your imaginative seer space. So in the mind's eye kind of a seer space is where you're going to get a lot of your breadcrumbs, of your images. And I'm going to be really honest. In the beginning, you're not going to realize that's what the fuck they are. I'm going to be honest. You're going to think you're just off on a tangent. You're going to think that your brain's just going and you're like, why the hell am I seeing this? Like, that was a weird thought. And you're just going to pawn it off, but they're telling you not to, because that's actually yours, and they're just going to start flexing it. And the more that you do this linking, and they're calling it a linkage, so it makes me feel like you're like tapping in to your higher consciousness, or tapping in to source or your team. There's like some sort of upwards cord that they're showing me that is coming down and hitting you like straight in the top of the head. I'm going to be honest. So there's some sort of connecting bridge here that you're going to start being imparted with, and that's going to start turning on these other abilities, but you're not going to realize that's what they are. So I don't know if you're somebody who, what's the word, who has a good, like if someone's, I feel like they need to give you this example. Like if someone's telling a story and you can see like in detail, not just like kind of see one object, like you can see the whole story, and then you're like, well, was it like this? And then you're literally going off of what you see in your head and adding to their story, and they're confirming it for you. If that hasn't started happening yet, it will, and you're actually doing cognitive remote viewing. It's like a form of scrying, technically, but you are tapping into the energy of what that person is saying and describing so well that you're clicking on your ability and your seer ability, and what ends up happening is that you're lending other details that they didn't pay attention to because you're tuning in and you can see it. And they're talking about this part is what is going to begin to start elevating for you. I'm going to be extremely honest. The best thing that you can do is have faith in what you get. Do not question what you get at all. Now, you can question, why am I getting this? But don't question yourself as in, no, that wasn't real. I'm going to tell you just to go with it. Especially in the beginning, you don't want to plant seeds of doubt, and it's going to be hard. Allow them to give you signs and synchronicities to confirm what you're seeing and what you're getting. Do not bottleneck yourself in to taking everything at face value. Sometimes what you get is going to be metaphorical. But I'm going to be really honest. I feel like they're going to start you off literal. I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't think they're going to start you metaphorically. I think they're going to start you off literally, because I feel like when I said it could be metaphorical, I feel like they're like, we're going to stray away like that. I feel like I have like a gentleman who's like, we're going to stray away from metaphors for now. We're going to stick it literal. So maybe you're a very literal person. So when you see something, just make a note of it, write it down, whatever you want to call it, make a mental note, voice record it, make a log, whatever, and then just pay attention. Just bring your awareness into what you see. If anything ends up starting to connect together, if things start forming a larger puzzle, if then it happens, or, because they're breadcrumbs. But the more you flex it, the better you get. And I'm going to be really honest. I feel like this is like your hidden superpower, and I feel like you didn't even realize it was an ability. I'm going to be really honest. That's what I feel like. I feel like you didn't even realize it was an ability. And I feel like, as you kind of are starting to open it up, it's going to lead to your other abilities. I'm going to be 1,000% honest. I feel like you might end up getting, it's like a combination. I feel like you might end up getting smell and ears and like hearing, working almost in tandem. I'm going to be really honest. Smell is not a common one that a lot of people, feel like they have. However, I do feel like once you start getting more confident in what you're receiving, in images and in your inner sight of the mind, I really do feel like they're gonna start bridging in smell. I feel the need to say smell. It feels so pertinent, to where you might get an image and then a smell from the image, or you might get a smell and you're like, what the fuck? And then it triggers your inner sight space. they're really linking the two for you. So I don't know if you feel like you have a good nose. I'm going to be honest, I don't have a good nose. I'm not somebody who I would say is like Mr. Snaz. I'm going to be real honest, but I have pretty damn good smelling ability as far as a gift and a seeing ability. But I do feel like you're going to start receiving, and I'm not going to say actual verbiage and talking lingo in your ear. But you're going to start getting a whole lot more increases in ear ringing. It's going to be a lot. And I feel the need to tell you, I call it deaf tone. I feel like your deaf tone is going to start first before your ear ringing, I'm going to be honest. And it's just going to be heightening your awareness. It is your feelers. It is you coming into contact with energy around you. But they're talking about how you're going to get deaf tone. Now, when I say deaf tone, it's almost like that tone before your ears pop. It's like if someone put a giant fishbowl over your head, it's almost like a deaf sound. If soundness could have a deaf, if deafness could have a sound, that would almost be what it is, and I call it the deaf tone. But you're going to almost start getting this to where it's like all of a sudden you're talking to somebody and you're like, why do I feel like I can't hear out of my left ear? Or you're doing something, minding your own business. You're almost in like I feel like they need to say washing the dishes. I don't know if you hand wash your dishes, but I feel like you're going to be doing something kind of a little bit like minding your own business, just do about your day. And all of a sudden you're going to get like this tone, and you're going to be like, the hell? Like, you almost going to feel the need to, like, clean your ear or, like, play with your ear, try to pop, like, pop, have your eardrums pop or something. But it's just, they're going to give you markers, and they're just going to slowly start turning on that one, but specifically smell, and then I feel like you're going to start with deaf tone. You might get a tone here and there, like a ringing tone, but they're really pointing me towards smell and deaf tone. I'm going to be 100% honest. Let's see if they got anything else they want to tell you. I don't know if you've been planning something. This is completely off topic. I don't know if you've been planning something, but they are showing me like a calendar. Feel the need to tell you to not worry about your schedule. I don't necessarily know why. They're not lending any other information, but they are showing me a calendar, and they're just saying don't worry about your schedule. So I don't know if maybe you're just feeling a little bit stressed and something lately. But they're like physically showing me like I almost want to call it like a desk calendar, or like they're not showing me like a calendar on your phone, like they're showing me like a legit calendar. So unless they're just trying to allude to the fact that don't worry how fast or quick or soon something happens, but they are really pointing towards whatever calendar this is on this desk. It looks white. It looks like black ink. But do you have anything else that you would like restated or confirmation or anything? Morning, Holly Joe. How's it going? If so, please just drop it down in the comment section. I'm gonna scroll back and see what all the comments were that I missed. Thank you so much, guys, for continuing to smash that screen. It helps us a lot. You do get migraines. Yeah. So, happening more. Great. You have a good sense of smell. Okay, good. Whiteboard refrigerator calendar. Okay. I was gonna say, it's like a physical something. Like, it's literally a physical calendar. It wasn't like on your phone. I'm like, whatever you're planning or whatever you're like looming over the calendar for, like, I don't know, like, but, so as far as your migraines go, I'm gonna tell you right up right up front, water is going to be your best friend. Water is fantastic. Spring water, don't do purified water. You can do distilled if you really want to, but purified water makes you more thirsty, and we don't want to dehydrate your body further. So we want to hydrate your body. So spring water, or I mean, you can do well water and stuff like that, but you just don't want it to be like purified, and especially not by large companies. They don't have good purification methods, and you'll notice a difference. You'll feel refreshed when you drink spring water, and you'll go through 3 bottles of purified water, and you think you're drinking a lot of water, but your body is having trouble taking it on. So make sure you're well hydrated. I would suggest, if you're not already, to start taking minerals, and like minerals that your body needs. You can do so by like sea moss. Celtic salt is fantastic, and you just need like 1 piece of Celtic salt. You can take it in the morning, put it under your tongue, or you can mix it in something. Has an amazing amount of minerals, and sometimes our physical bodies just need to be able to catch up to our light bodies. So a lot of that is going to be replacing some of the things that might be getting pulled on as you start ascending. But as we're also talking with the mind space, it's also the air element. So if you can start pulling down and swapping in another element, it would be fantastic for you. So if you can start pulling on the air element, or I mean, if you can start pulling on the earth element in order to balance out your air element, that would be fantastic. Physical grounding, planting roots, and because you do have seery abilities, and they are starting to, I'm gonna say blossom. I'm gonna be real honest, blossom. A lot of what you can do is you can physically picture your headache. And this goes for anybody in the room. This is a fun exercise to start working with your own energy. You can picture your headache as like a clustery, foggy white. Anywhere that you feel pressure in your headache. And then when you go ground, depending on how you ground, if you're, you know, you can picture pulling the cloudy white completely down through your feet. And you can do that as much as possible, breathing the entire time. And a lot of times what happens is, even though that seems silly, and it's like, why would that work? That's stupid. It's actually a form of you starting to begin to work with your chi, your prana, and you starting to get things moving and flowing in a different way. One of the easiest ways to do it is the flush method. And I don't know if that's an actual method. That's just what I call it. It creates a cycle within the body. So if you plant your feet in the ground or the grass or the dirt or whatever, you just do some kind of grounding technique, and you say, my left foot is my in channel, my right foot is my out channel, and you just picture pulling in from the earth around and pulling down. And it's a good way to help you transmutate energy, especially when it's causing you an issue within the body physically. It's a great fun exercise for you to start getting in tune with what your body needs in relation to the elements. It's a really cool thing to incorporate. You can play off that a ton of different ways. I'm going to be really honest. You can do a lot with just that simple technique that can have some really amazing benefits. But just in like the beginner sense, that's one of the easiest ways to do it, is to picture in, out. So you're forcing a flow of energy, and you're assisting in the flow of your own chi, your own prana, your own light body. It's allowing you to start breaking up some things, and it doesn't require you to have chakra knowledge. It doesn't require you to start really delving into anything too, overwhelming. But it might be helpful, especially if you're saying you're having non-stop headaches. It might be helpful, So give it a try. Let me know if it works. You know what I mean? And if you cannot, it's just not happening, and you need one-on-one space, you already know we have private stuff. So if you ever need just assistance, we have a spiritual guidance and assistance where we sit down for an hour and we can work through like one problem or one issue or whatever with you. And there's like no strings attached. So if you ever get to a point where you think you need that, like, you already know it's there. It's on the website. Like, you can reach out, use it anytime you want. But thank you for allowing me to give you a read, and thank you for being here and sharing space. That was a good question. I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of really fun. So thank you, because those are the questions that people don't always ask, but they're super fun to do. Like, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Alright, thank you for continuing to tap the screen, guys. It really makes the world of difference. It keeps us out on FYP. It allows us to keep things free for some people, and it allows more people to find us. If you guys are wanting me to feel into anything, oh my god, you're more than welcome. Like, oh, you're so welcome. Like, not a problem at all. Like, I appreciate you beyond reason. If you would like a read today, we are doing price cuts still. I'm celebrating 2K followers. We are growing organically, and this has been an amazing journey, and we are not done yet, not even close. So the list is open. We are doing 10-10 for my subscribers today, another give back, and we are doing 12-12 for my non-subscribers, also a give back. So if you guys want something felt into specifically, or maybe you just want a general and you don't know what's going on, we can do that, and I don't mind doing it. When you donate, please, we have Cash App, Venmo, come back in, let us know you donated, because sometimes those apps are slow, and I don't want to miss you on the list. And I'm just putting a call out. Is Alaska here? Is Alaska here? If you are here, please comment. If not, no worries. It is 12:32 on the clock. Welcome in, Miss Tanya. Welcome in, welcome in. If you guys have collective questions, you can throw down collective questions in the comments below, and we'll just get right down to it. Now, just keep in mind, collective questions do not require me to feel into your specific energy. They're just general questions, maybe spiritual topics, or something that you just want to kind of fire at the hip and have like a little discussion about. You know, just drop them down in there. That's why we're here. We're here to open up discussion and talk to new people. Welcome in, welcome in. How's it going, Andy? How's it going? I have been hearing high pitched in my left ear. I wonder if they're helping me open up. We can feel into it, Miss LeighAnn, if you want. High pitched is a lot of different things. I'm gonna be really honest. Oh, you did? Hold on, let me check. Hold on. Alright. 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 I guess it's one of them ability days. Guess it's one of them ability days. Am I back, Miss LeighAnn? Let me spell your name right. Sorry. So when I post this on YouTube, is that what you would like me to feel into? Your high-pitched ear ring? I'm gonna be honest, you have somebody new in your space. I don't get the sense that, and I'm not saying they're not there to help you, because they are, but I'm gonna be 1000% honest, and you have a new energy in your space, and this is the one lending the high pitch earring for you. I feel the need to say that it's something to do. And this is going to be really awkward. Not awkward, but it's just going to be really odd. So just try to follow me, because I don't know where we're going here. But they're talking about how it's really tied to your father's side, but it's not a past loved one. I feel like there's something to do with it feels lineage based, but it's like it's a high level energy. It's not a past loved one. It's not a dead person. This thing has not walked a human life this go around. It has been in spirit form the whole time. It's just next level for you. I'm gonna be honest. I do think it's here to usher in something different for you and something new. But the high-pitched earring is specifically this thing trying to interact with your energy as a whole. I just keep hearing assist and guide from afar, assist and guide from afar, over and over and over and over again. So I feel like you're going to be working with this energy directly later. I just don't feel like it's right now. But I feel like he is doing some sort of tuning, and I'm going to call it tuning, to the energy field. I feel like he's also attempting to... something about opening your awareness. There's something about vibratory field here where he's beginning to like open up your awareness and how your energy responds and picks up on new things. Like it feels like he's tuning your feelers is what it feels like to me. I'm gonna be honest, and as I'm saying that, like I'm getting like a very mild, like a little baby earring in my left ear. I would say it's like you have more than one thing helping you. I'm going to be really honest. You have more than one being helping you. I'm going to be honest. I feel like you want to know who it is, and I'm not going to tell you. I think that spoils the fun for your connection. And I thought that I just won't tell you. I don't tell anybody for sure. I'll confirm something if you ask me. But I think that is what helps build a connection between you and an energy, when you get to delve into and you get to feel into and you get to be the one to discover who it is instead of somebody telling you who it is. So right off the bat, I won't tell you who it is, although I feel like they keep saying she wants to know, she wants to know. I just feel like this is really good for you, though. Like, I feel like this has to do with your change. So I feel like your, whatever shift you just went through, I'm going to be honest, because this is what they're talking about, whatever shift you just went through, it has now, like, I feel like, I want to say new levels, new devils, but in a good way. So now that you just shifted out of a lower state into a higher frequency state, this is now the next step of that. And then once you get past a certain, like, he's just helping you, I want to say acclimate almost. I feel like he's helping you tune into this new vibratory he's helping you acclimate. And I'm using the word he, but I'm not giving him a gender. I just want to be very specific. I'm just using he for simplicity. Is giving you like this new acclimation. I just feel like he's helping you attune to where you're at right now. It really feels like it is a tuning of your light body. I don't necessarily feel quite yet that he's actually trying to work with you, like as in signs and God, I'm getting like ear pain. I don't know if your left ear, like, I almost feel like I want to like move my TMJ. I don't know if when he's around, if it's like not only like you get a little bit of a ring, but it's like almost like you get like kind of like an ache. Like, I like almost like you went to that rock concert and you stood a little too close to the speaker or something like that. Like it's almost like a little bit of like this achy thing. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be real honest. It just feels like it's, I feel like it's your new beginning. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I feel like he's welcoming you to like your next stage. Is what it really feels like to me. Is there something else? Is there something else that you... Is there something else you would like to know? Besides the earring? Let me scroll back and see what you've been typing. My is psychic. What does that mean? Mine is psychic. Bring things in. Mine is psychic. Mine is psychic. Oh. Oh. Intentionally or just like because he's a draw? Yeah, but there's like a whole new energy that, excuse me, transmutation. There's a whole new energy that is around you that is not new to you. But it will be. It will be. And like I'm almost feeling kind of like, I don't want to say vibey, but kind of like I don't know. It's a weird feeling. But do you have another question regarding your abilities that's not directly related to your earring? Because I feel like there's something else that you want to know besides this earring. And I feel like we're here, so we might as well, if you do. You see black dots. You see black dots. I'm sorry, I'm just talking. I'm just talking to my team. Just bear with me. Do you get, I don't want to use the word pain, but, like, do you get, maybe pressure? Do you get pressure, but from, like, the back side of the eye? Like, if it could be almost resonating from the back side of the eyeball and, like, resonating forward? Like, do you get pain in that sense? Just in general with your eyes, because I'm not getting a whole lot of draw to the black dots being a large part of any like ability at the moment. I'm gonna be real honest. I'm not getting the black dots as being something that's very connected to one of your abilities. Although I do feel like with whatever attunements this energy is doing, I feel like your physical eyes, like your sight, not your mind's eye, like your physical eyes is going to have like a ripple effect, and you're going to start feeling like, I'm going to call them like upgrades. You're going to start feeling like either fire in the eyes, or you're going to start feeling pressure from the back to the front. But I'm not getting anything really super specific around your black dots. And the only thing that keeps coming to into my headspace as I'm talking with my team is really floaters. I don't know if you have floaters or if you've ever looked into floaters, but it's making me feel like there's more of like a standard thing. I'm going to be really honest though, I feel like you see, I feel like whether you realize it or not, I feel like you see energy in general, whether that be whether that be like these kind of shimmery, I don't know how to make it make sense, like shimmery kind of see-through, and it seems like they almost kind of are like smoke but not smoke, and you kind of see them off to the side a little bit, and it makes me feel like as though you probably have a visual sight ability to where your eyes do tend to pick up energies, but I don't feel like the dots or something, but I feel like you have the potential to see energies, and I feel like that's might be what the two is kind of meshing into, to be honest. I feel like you have like this natural ability to see energies, and sometimes that can manifest in a lot of different ways. But as far as the physical dots being an issue or a problem, I'm not getting a really big pull to being like, yes, it's turning on, yes, activation, yes. I'm not getting that pull. They're not really taking me there for that. If that like makes any sense. Although I'm gonna be really honest, like some people only see with their mind's eye. You're one of the lucky few. Join the group. I'm right there with you. We can also see with our physical eyes. Now it doesn't happen all the time. I feel like it's, people think it's like every second of every day we're seeing a million things. But when it does happen, it's very distinct and it catches your attention. And it's okay, but they're just talking about how this is gonna eventually begin to become more developed, but you might see an uptick in it because of whatever this new energy is doing that is dialing in your energy, your auric field, your chi, your prana, like your physical life force, whatever he is doing in the form of tones that is to help you acclimate and adjust your feelers to where you're at right now with your recent shift. I feel like you're getting the ripple effect in some of the things you already do. So seeing things, I feel like is not new to you. I'm going to be real honest. I feel like it's not new to you, and I feel like if, grandma popped up in your hallway, it wouldn't surprise you if you saw like a light body or a manifestation or something, like, you know what I mean, like has physically manifested in the physical. I would not be surprised if you're like, yeah, okay. So I do think sometimes the dots are shadowy things that you're catching really fast, but as far as like physical, like I have dots, the only thing that they're bringing me to, and the way that I'm taking it being like a dot, they just keep saying floaters. They don't, they're not bringing me towards anything super crazy. So it makes me feel like your site is a secondary and it's not a main. So it makes me feel like it's going to be part of the ripple effect that occurs from whatever this energy is bringing in to tune you. And it does not make me feel as though that's what they're opening up right now. I hope that makes sense. Like that's not their focus. I feel like your entire light body is the focus of just helping you acclimate because it's setting you up for preparation. And I feel like the preparation is going to be your quote unquote next level, where you start to grow and you start to do something a little different. It's going to be like your next adventure is what I really want to call it. But I just feel like that's what that is. And sometimes, I'm going to be really honest, sometimes the tone, I don't know why we're going here, but sometimes the tone that you hear is an entrance. And I know that sounds weird. Sometimes the tone is because whoever this energy is, this higher energy, first of all, I'm going to tell you, it's overwhelming. I feel like sometimes it's overwhelming for you, and it's okay because it's a good overwhelming, and it's necessary, and this is part of the attunement because you got to feel your feels. But I feel like it's sometimes when this thing blips in, and I use the word blip. It's when they appear in your space. It's when they pop in to you at the moment. I feel like sometimes you catch not only like when he's purposely trying to send a tone your way, but I feel like when you're also minding your business and you're doing something and you're not, I feel like you're also catching things blipping into your space. That's the way I'm going to say it. You're catching things popping in to your space, and sometimes you're catching that as a tone or a frequency sound. And I'm going to be honest, there should be a difference between the tone or the level or frequency or even the beat sometimes to when he's purposely working with you and when you're just attuning to hearing something blip in. Because I really am getting called to tell you that sometimes it's him with you and sometimes something's just blipping in your house. I'm going to be really honest. I feel the need to tell you sometimes something's just blipping in and you're catching it, and it's a different tone than when he's actually working with you. So I just feel the need to tell you, I would really start paying attention to what you're doing when the tones are happening and what type of tone it is and in which ear it happens. Some people, not everybody, but some people have different sides for different things. So some people talk to guides, spirits on one side, talk to, entities on the other, and angels and like whatever, higher frequency things on one side. So starting to be able to develop it in a way that it works for you is going to be able to start bringing awareness to these things and how it happens for you. Because I just want to, I feel like unintentionally and naturally your house is kind of like Grand Central Station. And I don't necessarily mean, and I'm getting goosebumps, I don't necessarily mean in like a bad way. But I feel like it's because of who lives in the house, and your guys' energy as a whole, as like a family unit as a whole. It's a draw. It's like a natural attractant. I'm gonna be honest, but it's a good way. I'm getting tons of goosebumps. It's a good thing. I mean, you'll get the occasional not need to be there thing. But I would not be surprised if you get the blip tone a lot during the day and you get your I'm gonna work with you tone towards the end of the night. Either when you're in bed or when you're just waking up in the morning. Like it's more, I feel as though these real I'm gonna work with you tones are gonna be when you're in a more free mindset and you're not in a go, because it's hard to work with you when you're grinding the damn thing. But it's really easy to work with you when you're relaxing. It's really easy to work with you when you're reading. It's really easy to work with you when you're doing laundry, something monotonous you do all the time. Like this type of a thing. So the blipping is going to be increasing for you because you're becoming more attuned. Like your awareness and your feelers is kicking on. But the dots aren't pulling me to anything super crazy, but they're just reaffirming for you that you do see energies, and they are pointing me towards more of like your flowy light energies rather than solidity. And I feel like the need to say flowy light energy more than shadow at the moment, but it's okay. It's just like the next level to things. Like, just the next level to things. But I feel like the nighttime is going to be where you're going to get the I'm working with your field energies and that type of a tone. And I almost feel like I want to say beats because maybe sometimes there's like a ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba to the tone where it's like and it's like coming in, out. There's a purpose for it. I call it Morse code. It's like there's a purpose for it. The pauses and the beat is important as part of the frequency that they're sending. So it has a purpose. But you're in control. So if it ever does bother you to the point where it's distracting or irritates you, you can say no. You can say enough. I need to go to bed. Bother me later. But it is working for your greatest good at this moment in time. It's working to assist in what you want to do and not hold you back, if that makes sense. Let me I see full body spirits. Oh, Jesus. Get it. Yes, I see that. You got a lot of stuff rolling through. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I feel like seers are the ones who get a lot of the passerbyers. And I really just feel like they're drawn to to like our aura, our light, our energy, because and like I don't care what anyone says, especially dead people. Dead people talk. Like you help one past loved one dead person, and all of a sudden you have a line because now they know you can do it, and you're like, oh Jesus. Like, so I just feel like when you acknowledge it, it's more present, you know what I mean? And because you openly welcome it, and not in a bad way, not like in your home, but just because you're okay with what you do and what you can do and what your children can do, like, it's now just a part of your life because it's a part of your energy, kind of a thing. So you're going to get I wouldn't be surprised, yeah, if you get a lot of that. Do you have anything that you would like clarified or felt into or something like that? You know what I mean? Like, do you have anything that we talked about you want a little extra south sound? Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Can I pull for a job? I'm gonna be honest, they just keep yelling, have patience. I feel like you have a very loud masculine as one of your energies. I just want to let you know. And, they're talking about how your financial difficulties are temporary. This is like your new beginning, and you're overcoming fear, and you're releasing a lot of things, is what they're talking about. But they're talking about the need for you to calm your anxieties. The need for you to calm your anxieties. Yeah, they're just talking about how right now you're going through financial difficulties. We have the Five of Pentacles out here, and we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. We're just talking about, you know, financial difficulties, a loss or a lack of money, a little bit of struggles, you bridging right into adversity. But I'm going to be real honest. After that, like, they have you transitioning before that with the Six of Swords. So you're moving forward, you're healing, you're moving on, you're overcoming, and you're finding stability. And this is what they have you currently transitioning through, is your financial struggles. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune on the backside. That's good fortune, good karma. Like, it can technically also be described as wealth and abundance. But it's literally the cycles of life, and they're talking about how you bridge through your finances and your current struggles is going to be some of your defining moments. And they're talking about bridging into solid foundations and happy families. I do have the Returning to Roots card. But they just keep talking about how you're feeling stuck and a little bit limited. And I feel like almost like a need for like I almost feel the need to say like a lack of direction. But then right after that, we have the Strength card, and we have you looking for growth, and you looking like, how do I want to say this? They just keep talking about you can't rush abundance. So I don't know if you want what you want and you want it now. But they're just talking about, like, right now you're having all the strength. You're having all the courage. They're talking about this. I'm going to be real honest. This is paired with your spiritual awakening, whether you realize it or not. Part of your struggles and your mindset surrounded your struggles go hand in hand with your spiritual journey. Hand in hand with what you think is restricting you, and what you think part of it is causing some sort of the paranoia. They just keep calling for patience. They keep getting the light at the end of the tunnel is coming. You need to push away negativity and stress as situations are improving is all I keep hearing. I do have a deal out on the table. And I have the confidence card. It just sounds like you need to wait. Like, it sounds like you just want it now. As I said, you need to wait. We got the patience card. Like, that's what they have out here. It just sounds like they're just telling you to wait and quit rushing it. They want you to really be seated in the foundations of knowing that it's coming and you have nothing else to worry about. Now, that's really great for emotions, but we know in the physicality of things that's an extremely difficult thing to do. So I'm going to tell you, do what you need to do, but it doesn't make me feel like if this is a permanent thing. It makes me feel like this is a temporary struggle and not a, place that you're going to be stuck for a while. No worries. I'm glad I could help you. Not a problem. Sunchild, how's it going? Not a problem, not a problem. Cool handle. If you guys would like a read, we're going to do last call, and we have Cash App, and we have Venmo. We're doing a give back. We're celebrating 2K subscribers, so they are not subscribers. That would be wild. We're selling 2K followers. 2K subscribers would be wild. We're celebrating 2K followers, so we're doing price cuts. So if you would like a read today, right now is time to get on. It's last call. We are doing Cash App, Venmo. If you are one of my subscribers, and actually one of my subscribers, not one of my followers, one of my subscribers, it is 1010. If you are not a subscriber, it is 1212. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for smashing that screen. If you guys have collective questions, while we wait to see if anybody wants to grab the last spot, while we wait, if you guys have collective questions, you can toss them down in the comment section below, because it really does help. It really, really does help. Just keep in mind, a collective question are questions that do not require me to feel into you specifically. It's just like a general question, either about spirituality or any really topic that you want to delve into. Is fair game, to be honest. 1000% fair game. Thank you so much for continuing to tap the screen. If you are not a part of my website, you should join. It's free, and there's a lot of cool stuff there. And when you are a member, you gain points. And points equates into money off of services. So it does add up quickly. For those of you who don't know, we did just open up an Intro to Candle Magic class. And it's a lot of fun. You also get to learn not only how to set up, dress, anoint, and the reasons why, and the candle color, and the frequency, but you also get a protection candle at the very end. You get the herbal recipe blend, and how we set it together. We do it together. You watch it burn, and then we chit-chat about it. You also get 13 pages of pre-typed notes. That is also a quick reference guide for you. And you can find that on our website. We will be launching herbal classes very, very soon. Miss Keys of Wisdom 369, Miss Erin, she is starting an herbal class. She's almost done with it, and then we'll be posting that up as well, where you'll go through tinctures and salves and all the good stuff, all the fun stuff. So if you guys are interested in that, that is coming soon, but you should be checking back that website. How's everybody doing today? Is everyone having a good Wednesday? I feel like it's a good hump day. I feel like it's a good day. How do we better communicate and meet with our guides? Ooh, so that's so individual, because it really depends on your ability, but I'm going to be really honest. Permission is the best place to start. Because in giving something permission, you also not only are giving your conscious and your subconscious awareness of it and its presence, but you're also allowing them to work with you and work for you. I sent a link to yesterday's live to another friend. She thought you were awesome. She's a Reiki master. Oh, wow. That's so cool. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've thought about Reiki. I just don't. I've always gone back and forth with it because I don't know about the structure, and it's such a structured practice that I don't know. But I've always loved it. I've always loved the idea of Reiki, and I've studied it myself, but I've never gone through the course and stuff like that, to where you get like your certifications. But that's so awesome. Like, I appreciate that 1,000%. Like, that's awesome. Thank you so much. But as far as communicating with your guides, I do permission. I ask them, you know what I mean? They give them permission to help me, and then I usually just ask for something. But then you just kind of, like, it's hard because you kind of got to have no expectation. Like, zero. So when you ask for something, you can't get discouraged if it doesn't happen. That's, like, one of the hardest things ever. I'm going to tell you, a lot of times doing a meditation, a guided meditation, is probably one of the easiest ways to bridge into meeting or seeing your guides for the first time, especially if you're not confident in your abilities or how they work for you yet, and you're just kind of wanting to meet like your main birth guide or one of your guides that you're really close with. Like, sometimes meditation is one of the best ways, and there's tons of them out there. I would just pick one that is like, no, it's not hard for you. Pizza, it's not. It's not hard for you. Sammy, no, it's not. What you think meditation is hard for you. 1,000%. Because meditation is not sitting quietly and thinking of nothing. That's hard for a lot of people. That's actually stoicism. That's not meditation. It's a form of meditation. But meditation can be a lot of things. When you're driving and all of a sudden you're, oh my goodness, I don't know how we got here, but you're at the destination. You were meditating. Your thinking, fight or flight brain clicked off. And you went in robo mode. And you were elsewhere. Your attention was elsewhere. Meditation. You can meditate via coloring. I would pick a sound. You probably just haven't found your sound. I'm going to be really honest. You probably haven't found your sound. I would pick like a sound or something that you enjoy listening to that keeps your brain stimulated. You know what I mean? My most meditative state is when I'm focused on an art form. But that's exactly it. It's just a state of allowance and a state of clicking off your thinking brain and allowing. That's always step one. I mean, you can work with your guides in any way, but if you want to, like, quote-unquote meet them, because everyone's always so obsessed about meeting their guides, if you want to quote-unquote meet them, and you want to see them, and you want to, it's going to be the easiest way, either in dream state, when you're asleep, and you wake up with all the knowledge, or meditation. And that's because a lot of times, you're already in the creative visualization part of your brain, and then you get to see your guides should you ask them to step forward. But the hard part is, they're not going to look like what you think 9 out of 10. And you have to trust what you get. Because if your guide shows up as, I don't know. We'll just use, I don't know. If your guide shows up as a Viking, we'll just use a Viking. If your guide, because it's gonna sound silly, right? You meditate, your guy shows up in a battle axe and a shield, and you're like, wow, that was crazy. But that didn't happen, and you discount it. What was the point of the whole exercise? Because I'm gonna be real honest, your guides are energy. They have no physical vessel, so how they show up to you is unique. And just because they show up to you one way does not mean they need to show up to another in the same exact way. And some guides can shapeshift. Like, they'll change who they look like. Because it's their essence you're coming into contact with, not their physical form. So they're going to pick a form that is not only interesting to you, has some sort of past life link for them or you, and usually it's a tie between the two. It's a tie, that it's a link for you to a past life, and it's also something that they were present in. It's a link, and it's going to be helping you get breadcrumbs. It's going to be something that's not going to freak you out. You know, they don't want to scare the shit out of you the first time they meet you. So it's going to be something a little bit like less scary. You know what I mean? And then, you know, and it's just going to be something that you're okay with stomaching. But then if you get up from whatever meditation or your little meet up, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, that didn't happen. That was a bust. It doesn't matter if that was exactly what your guide looked like, regardless. If you don't believe it, then you don't believe it. So it really does have a lot. So if I ask my guys to reveal themselves in my mind's eye, is that possible? Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly how that works. Yep. Don't be frustrated, though, if it doesn't happen the second you wanted it. You know what I mean? You've got a nice overhand and riffle shuffle. Do you ever use 50 card pickup to start the deck? No, I don't. I'll do that sometimes if the cards are kind of stiff. Like if I get like an oracle deck, like something real big like this, I'll like separate them and I'll throw them on the ground or the table or whatever I'm working with, and I will cascade them across the room to break them apart. It works for me. But then I'll shuffle them normal. When I'm shuffling, I shuffle energy into cards. So when you see me doing reads and stuff and I'm always shuffling, I only learned to bridge maybe, I don't know, maybe a year ago. I was awful at shuffling. Not like, I can shuffle like this, and I used to shuffle off of corners. So I used to have my cards kind of like this and would shuffle the corners and shove them together. I have small hands, so bridging always seemed like it was out of the norm for me, and it was difficult. But I like went through like a little like hard time, and I decided instead of being distracted by the difficult time, I would teach myself a skill. So it was like an avoidance coping mechanism, I guess, at the time when I was a little less healed. And I taught myself how to bridge. So now I do it regardless as like a meditative practice. I will just sit there over and over and over again, shuffling cards. I do it while I talk to people. It's now just like a skill. I've taught people how to shuffle all sizes, because like I'll shuffle these big mamma jammas the same way, and this is like quite the span for my hand to be able to like, so I'll shuffle these the same way, and it just kind of works for me. I don't know that technically if that's like how you're supposed to like bridge and stuff, but it's the way I taught myself how to do it. So thanks for the question. 8.8k likes, thank you so much. So yeah, kind of 52, but I don't do audibly speak pizza. I don't do speak audibly, only because when people think about hearing abilities, only like 2% of the population hears with their outside ear. Like, as far as abilities go. A lot of times, it's verbal sound, but it's not like Jimmy was calling you from the next room. So sometimes, because we know what the word audible and audible speaking is, sometimes we place an unexpected expectation on something of how it's to come in, and then we miss it. A lot of times, the whispers and the low sounds, and it sounds like half a word, and you're like, what are you trying to say? And you try so hard to focus into it. That's usually your auditory kicking on. It's the beginning of your abilities. It usually happens in your ear canal, or almost in like the side of your head space. Like it feels like it's over here, but you have no like delineation, and it feels like mumbling. That's usually the beginning of that type of an ability turning on. Now, it can look different for everybody, you know, as to how they start, what develops first, what's natural, what's not. But I usually don't ask for audible. I used to try really, really hard for audible, and the more you try, sometimes you fixate and you focus too hard, and it almost makes it impossible to come through because it's almost too much energy, and instead of allowing it, you're chasing it, and what happens when you chase things? It runs from you. And that's exactly what the energy will do, is you end up pushing it instead of pulling it towards you. The best thing you can do is just put the thought out there and tell your team that, like, I really would wish to make contact with you. You know, it's my intention to get to know you. It's my intention to meet you. It's my intention to whatever. And then just every day set aside a little bit of time, even if it's just you time, where you sit down and you physically talk to them, or you sit down and you do what you need to do and you get done, you spend some you time, some self-love. Doing all these inner things is going to allow yourself the mind space and the energy space that you make room for them. I know that sounds weird, but like you end up making room for them, and then when they do come in, it's like, oh my God, and it's almost undeniable. Sometimes when we set an expectation, like I'm going to do a 30-minute meet my guides meditation, and they're going to show up and I'm going to know them. That is such a high bar expectation that it's really hard to live up to. And it's really hard for them to get through to you and figure out how to communicate with you, because until you've made that, like, it's really a trial and error. And I tell everyone this, it really is, because until you've made that linking connection and that bridge, like, they're going to have to figure out how to communicate with you just as much as you're figuring out how to communicate with them. Because this is your first lifetime here. Like, as you, as Sammy, as Pizza. You're different every time you go around. You know what I mean? So what worked for you 20 centuries ago might not have worked for you now. So they have to do the trial and error just like you do. If they say something and it scares you, they're like, all right, too much. We came in with too much energy, and I screamed in her ear, and she heard a high pitch, and then she was done for the day. My bad. We'll try again. I can't tell you how many times just working with my own team, or especially like other people's teams, they get super excited and they come on too strong, and I'm like, whoa, back up. And it's like you almost offend them. And then they're like, oh, and then they have to like go back, regroup, and they come back again. So sometimes having that cut time frame, you don't allow them to regroup and try something different, to try a different way of communicating, you know. So for me personally, I keep it as wide open as possible. It starts with synchronicities and signs and awareness, and then it usually bridges into, you know, other things like physical sensations, goosebumps, smells, ear ringing, this, that, feeling like you've been touched or something like that. And then it usually bridges into your own exploration and wanting to know, what is this, what is that, who's doing this, like, and all of that stuff. And then that usually gets you moving into your inner journey, you know what I mean, and your spiritual, like people call it their awakening and their enlightenment, and, you know, so it's hard to decipher if I'm receiving a message or not. Well, because you're using your brain. You're using your brain. Don't do that. You got to use your gut. You know? The signs that are meant for you, especially in the beginning, will 100% undoubtedly assign. Those are the ones that I would pay attention to. And make it big when you see them at first. I'm going to be real honest. Like, make it big. Like, if you're walking by and you're thinking about something, you're like, man, just give me a damn sign. And you look up and it's 11:11, be like, 11:11. Okay, all right, thank you. I hear you. Show gratitude, because you know what? Sometimes they don't know what you see versus what you missed or how you interpreted it until you tell them sometimes. You know what I mean? Do you have different guides each time? You can. Yeah, you can. Some guides do go around with you quite often, but sometimes they're not always guides. Sometimes they walk a physical, go around with you as other people, or, you know, karmics or teachers or mentors. Sometimes they don't always stay in the non-physical. Sometimes they do generate down with you. So it kind of just depends. But yeah, they can. Your guides can be here since birth. We call them birth guides. They're usually your first one, boots on the ground, boom, they're there. And then sometimes Sometimes we have ones that come and go. They're just here to help you learn something, and then they kind of blip out. But I'm going to be real honest. I've never had one just leave and never come back. Now you can always send them away. It's a contract, you can send them away. I don't enjoy doing that. I don't yet know the purpose of doing that, personally. They're here to teach you something, whether you want to learn it or not. But it just comes from your opinions, you know what I mean, on how you view guides and stuff like that, and your team as a whole, what your mental constructs are and your concepts, especially what culture you're in. So it does depend, but yeah, they can come and go. They can be with you multiple times, or this could be their first time with you. So it really does depend, you know what I mean? It takes, it's a conversation, it's a relationship to build. It's not just going to happen overnight. But usually I tell people to work with their birth guide first. That birth guide's been there the entire time of your life. They have watched you grow up. They have been there through all your struggles. They're the person that's going to, in my mind, understand you in this physical the most. So they're usually the easiest person because they're so familiar to you as an energy, whether you realize they're there in your awareness or not, that they're usually the first one that pops in. They're usually the person that I tell people when I work with people to be focusing on, and ask your birth guide to step forward and ask other guides with all the love to take a step back, so you can start delineating between the energies, so you can start telling the difference. Because telling the difference between your guides' energies is one of the coolest things you can start to begin to do, Welcome in. Yesterday I asked Grandpa to send me a cardinal. A cardinal flew by my car just shortly after. But that's it. That's already like a link for you. You know what I mean? Like, that's already showing you. Thank you for the gifts. That's already showing you how connected you are. Asking you shall receive, and you received pretty damn quickly. Like, Grandpa was like, all right, here we go. Like, it's exact, but that you can use that same kind of energy. Like, you did it once, you can do it again. Yep, exactly. So you can look into 222 on the clock. It's called an angel number, and you can look at that. You can also look at the divine root of 222, which is just adding all the numbers together. You know what I mean? 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6. And you can look up the divine root, what 6 means in numerology. But you can also just start paying attention to what you're doing and thinking and who you're around when you see the number 222. What's going on in your environment? Because sometimes it's not just what the number means. It's a way to get your attention. So what was I doing? Like, a lot of times, 1, 2, 3 on the clock, like a lot of times for confirmation, sometimes it's just there to show you something. Like, I used to have a mentor who used to say, like, you'll notice when you're thinking something bad, something happens and you hurt yourself. And, it was actually hysterical because I was like, no, and I turned around and I stubbed my toe. But they were just talking about how sometimes they do things to break you out of a train of thought, to bring your awareness elsewhere, to bring attention to you shouldn't be thinking that. So he's like, you'll notice how sometimes when you're doing something or thinking about something you shouldn't in a way that it harms you, you actually hurt yourself. And it was just really funny. Alright guys, so I might see you tonight. I have a couple late clients, so we'll play that one by ear. So if I do see you, I'll probably be closer to 8:30, potentially 9 o'clock. So thank you so much for all the likes. Thank you so much for all of the taps and the shares and the follows. My dad's favorite time was 12:34. He was a brilliant man, loved the organization. But exactly, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's also ascension. It's also counting up. It's also forward movement. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Of course, no problem, dude. That's why we do this. That's why I go live. That's why we do this, so we can share different perspectives with people, play a little devil's advocate, do a little bit of learning, and then help people along the way. So I appreciate it. Thank you for helping us celebrate 2,000 followers. Because that's awesome. I'm gonna be real honest. They don't care, Ariel. They don't care what you are. I'm gonna be 100% honest. Because they don't see you in your physical body, nor your physical lustful desires, or your romantic aspirations. They 100% just see you as energy. So they don't care what label you give yourself, because what does it matter though? What does it matter? Do what you feel called to do. If you feel like you want to invest energy, time, love, and relationships in the way that would be a lesbian relationship in the physical, then go do it. If that's what sparks your soul and sparks your fire, that's what they're cultivating. They don't care the label you put on it. So whether you want to just strictly be lesbian, or you want to be bisexual, or you just don't want to label it at all, and you just want to do what literally makes you comfortable, then go do it. Of course it would. Of course it would. But at the end of the day, if you don't do it, and that's something that your soul or your heart wants you to do, for whatever reason, then that's yours to understand, then really the only person you're hurting in the long run is you. So, you just have to ask yourself, is this something you truly want? Is it something you feel called to do or be a part of? And then, why aren't you doing it already? And that goes for anything in life. And my left ear is ringing. Why aren't you doing it already? Because I'm going to be real honest, your life's about you. And people think that that's selfish or something like that. But like, if you care for somebody and they care for you, and you think it's legit and it's something you want to invest time, energy, and then go do it. Go do it. The world is full of judgmental people who will never understand what you have to do. And this goes for whatever you choose to do, sexual orientation or not, like whatever. But it's full of people who will never understand, but they don't have to understand. They're not living it. You are. Like, you are. So, you gotta do what's gonna make you happy, what you can live with. So, I'm gonna tell you, they're not gonna give. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't give you an answer. I'm gonna be real honest. I don't know how your team is without feeling into them, but like, my team doesn't give me an answer on what to do, ever, because that would be taking away your freedom of choice, your free will. But they can guide you in what they think would be your greatest, highest good. So they're not gonna tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tell you what you need to hear, and then what you need to hear is the choice is yours. But the question you need to ask yourself is, what lights your soul on fire? What is your heart telling you to do? Not what your head tells you that you should do based on what other people might think, do, or feel, or respond, or how much it might shake up your life. If it's something you want to do, go ahead. And then you know what? Later on, if you feel like you want to change your mind, go ahead. Go ahead. It's your life. You go do it. Do what you need to do. Do what you need to do. You don't need guides for that one. You just need to tune right into yourself. Your guides are a bridge that allows you to tune into yourself, and in tuning in further to yourself, you're tuning in further to the universe in its entirety. You gotta listen to you on that one. You don't need anybody else's guidance. No one needs to be stirring that pot but you. That is entirely a you decision. So do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do, girl. Welcome in. I will see you guys later. I will be back on, potentially, depending on how late clients go today, probably like 8:30, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for spending time here. Thank you for tapping the screen. Thank you for helping us get to 2,000 followers. It has been a beautiful journey, and we have no plan on stopping. Thank you so much. I will see you guys later.